Hi, thank you for joining. So in this video, we're solving for X specifically for these questions. Please check out on a previous video. I've already done question 1. We do factorization, simplification, and doing this question here. So in the couple of next videos, we're doing 2.2 and 2.3. So stay tuned. So let's get into it. So for X, so if you have a question like this, couple of ways to do it, but most of the time you're always going to get these type of questions. So how you solve for X for 2.1.1? So 2.1.1, you have px plus qx equal to, is it a or 0? That's a. Okay, so solve for X, say what you see here, you have a common factor. There's a common factor on the left hand side, and the common factor here is X, so you have to factor that out. So if you factor out X, you're going to be left with P plus Q, which is A. And then from here, then you can just divide by the coefficient of X on both sides. And the coefficient of X is P plus Q. So you divide by P plus Q on both sides. P plus Q on both sides. And then from here, P plus Q over P plus Q, there's 1. So on your left hand side, you're going to be left with X. And then on your right hand side, you're going to be left with A over P plus Q. Boom, that's your answer. So you have 1, 2 marks. All right, so factor out X and solve for X. And that's your answer. Let me know if you have questions on 2.1.1. Otherwise, let's go to 2.1.2. Different color, 2.1.2. So you have 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so to solve this problem, there are a couple of ways of solving this problem, but I'm going to be showing you how to solve this problem just not using your calculator, right? So you can use your calculator. There's other ways of doing this. You can even use a quadratic formula, but I'm going to show you without using a quadratic formula or a calculator. So how you do this? First thing first, you need to actually able to remember that this is a quadratic equation, and the standard equation of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the standard one. So in this case, a is 2 and b is -5 and c is 2 in our instance. And what you need to do then here, always you need to figure out a way to split -5x. That's basically what we're trying to do here. So how will you split that -5x? You need to find the factors of AC. And AC in our case is 2 times 2. A is 2, C is 2, which is 4. You need to find the factors of AC. And the factors of AC are 1, 2, and 4. Those are the factors of 4, right? Factors of 4, 1, 2, or 4. Those are the factors of 4. So now those are the factors of 4. Now what you need to do then, that's the first thing. Second thing, now we need to find two numbers such that the first number, if you take the first number and you times with the second number, that if you multiply those two numbers, they should give you AC. In this case, which is 4. And the same numbers that you take these numbers from here, right? And the same numbers that you take, if you add them, they should give you B. In this case, B is -5. So which numbers are those? So if you see 1 and 4, if you take 1 times 4, that's 4. And if you take 1 plus 4, that is 5, but it should be -5. So if you take -1 and -4, that will work. So if we have -1 times -4, you're going to get positive 4. And then if you have -1 minus -4, you're going to get -5. So the numbers that you're going to take is -1 and -4. So essentially then from here, these are the two numbers that you're going to use to split this -5. Instead of writing -5x, you're going to have -x minus 4x is equal to -5x. That's how you split that -5x. Okay, great. So let's go back. So you have 2x squared. Instead of writing -5x, you're going to write -x minus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. Let me know if you have a question around this. I'm happy to answer. I'm happy to redo this question as well just to make sure you understand it. But let's continue, and then from here you can now find the common factor. So the common factor in here is x, so we factor that out, and if you factor it out, then you're going to say 2x squared divided by x, that is 2x, and negative x divided by x, that's negative 1. And then from here you find a common factor. The common factor is 2, right? And so if we factor that out, and then you say well, what we want to do, actually, you can say 2 is fine, but we want this to be negative, right? We want that to be positive. So if we factor out positive negative 2, that will work. Why? Because then we want to have here a positive number. So you're going to say negative 4 divided by negative 2, that is positive 2x. Essentially, we want this and this to be the same, basically. If you have questions around this as well, please let me know, because I know a lot of students, they get confused if they have to take a negative sometimes or if it's a positive. But the reason why instead of taking a positive, I took a negative is because I wanted this to be the same. I wanted this to be 2x, because now if it was positive, it was going to be negative 2x, and it defeats the purpose. All right, so from here, then you have and then so we said negative 4x divided by negative 2, that's positive 2x. Positive 2 divided by negative 2, that is negative 1. That's what we want. We want this and this to be the same. Therefore, can now see there's a common factor as well. So let's factor that out, which is 2x minus 1. And then if you factor that out, you're going to be left with x minus 2. Great. And then from here, you can say, okay, cool, 2x minus 1 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. And then say 2x, take that negative 1 to the right hand side, become positive, so x is equal to 1 over 2. In this case, x is equal to 2. Boom. These are your answers. Your x is half and your x is 2. And you get 3 marks out of all the hard work that you've done. So you get half mark for the answers, and you get a mark for this, then you get a mark for that. So those are your 3 marks. Boom. Right, so 2.1.3. Let's go. 2.1.3. Let me know if you have questions on 2.1.2 and 2.1.1. I'm happy to answer your questions. I'm happy to go through it again. I'm happy to share, just give more clarity and make sure you understand what's going on. So with this one here, 1 over 2, 3x plus 1 is equal to 32. I'm going to bring my calculator on. So I want you also to get your calculator. All right, so I got my calculator on. I hope you have your calculator ready as well. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to just make sure that we're using a calculator, but you can actually use this without a calculator. I think the question doesn't want, you can calculate this, everything I'm going to show you can do it without a calculator, but I think the calculator make our life easier, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with just using the calculator. Right, so from here, what you need to do is if you have a solution like this, right, a couple of ways of solving this. You can use logarithms, but what I want us to do is just use the knowledge of base fund of exponents. So let me give you a quick revision. So if you have a power 2x is equal to all right, let me just not even complicate it. If you have a power x is equal to a power 2. Now, laws of exponents says if the bases are the same, therefore the exponents are equal. That's basically the laws of exponent. If you have a situation like this where bases are the same, therefore the exponent should be equal. So therefore x is equal to 2. So that's what you're going to be doing here as well. So we're going to try to make sure that these bases are the same. To do that, we can try to make 32 half, right? So we're going to try to make 32 to be a half. How can we do that? So you can say half power something. Of course, have to be power something. So so you can take a calculator if you want. You can even do it by your head. It doesn't really matter. So half power, if you say half power 1, you get half, and then if you say half power 2, you get 0.25, right? But if you say half power negative 2, because we want to have a 32 there, you get a 4. So I think we should continue with negative numbers instead of positive numbers, because with negative numbers we get higher values, with positive numbers you're going to get less values. So if you have power 3, you get positive 8. If it's power negative 4, you get 16. All right, so we're going in the right direction. If it's power 5, you get 32. So half power negative 5 is 32, right? And from here, bases are the same. Therefore what you do, you equate the exponents. That's basically your answer. So you have 3x plus 1 is equal to negative 5. Now from here it's super easy. So 3x equal to, take that 1 to the right hand side, becomes negative. So you have negative 5 minus 1. So 3x equal to negative 6. Then you divide by a coefficient of x on both sides, which is 3. And then 3x over 3, that is x. Negative 6 divided by 3, that is negative 2. Boom. So that's how you would actually do your calculation. And then yeah, this is essentially how many marks? 3 marks. So I will give you 1 mark for this, and 1 mark for that, and 1 mark for this row here. So 3 marks. Boom. So yeah, so that's it on this video 2.1. If you got questions on this as well, please let me know. I'm happy to help. But on this video, next video, we'll be doing 2.2. And so please check out 2.2. And then following video, we'll be finishing question 2. We still have a lot of questions to do. All right, so tune in or check out this playlist. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for your comment. If you're doing that, you are assisting this channel to grow even further, and you're gonna able to reach more people and help as many people as possible. So if you view this and you like it, please just click that like button and comment as well. I need your feedback. I need to know if this content is good for you. I need to know if you want if you have any other things that you want me to say or include in these videos or do in these videos. I'll really appreciate your comment. So please drop your comment. Please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe as well, and share this with anyone, with your friends at school. Please do so, and let's grow this channel and let's help as many people as possible. See you in next video. Boom.